Terence "Bud" Crawford making an early morning appearance, turning himself in to police.
All of a sudden, a couple hours later, Terence Crawford is held at gunpoint for a traffic stop.
Please don't step out.
I'm opening the door.
You can take
I'm
mine
opening the
off
door.
of me.
It's hard to believe, but just hours after being celebrated like a hero in a parade, Terence "Bud" Crawford was suddenly facing police guns. Earlier that day, the streets were filled with cheers and flashing lights as people honored him like royalty. But later, those lights turned into police sirens, and things took a scary turn. Crawford was pulled over, and officers pointed guns at him, ordering him out of his car. How did such a proud and joyful day turn into such an upsetting and embarrassing moment for him?
Seatbelt.
Please don't step out.
I'm opening the door.
You can take
I'm
mine
opening the
off
door.
of me right here on my right. I'm keeping my fucking hands up.
I'm not reaching for no gun, bro.
Step out.
Can I move my...
Make sure to like and subscribe, because this story is really something. We're going to look at the full truth about Crawford's arrests, past sentences, lawsuits, and the surprising headlines that seem to follow him everywhere. On September 27th, the city of Omaha was full of excitement, celebrating their hometown hero. Just weeks before, Crawford had shocked the boxing world by beating Canelo Alvarez. This win made history, as he became the first male boxer to win unified titles in 3 different weight classes. The city celebrated Crawford in a big way. Fans filled the streets, and even the mayor, John Yang, came out to honor him. It was extra special because it was also Crawford's 38th birthday, giving everyone 2 big reasons to celebrate. But later that night, things took a sudden turn. Around 1:30 a.m., police in Omaha said they saw a car driving dangerously near the area where the celebrations had happened. That car turned out to be Crawford's. What happened next quickly went viral, flashing police lights, officers yelling, and Crawford being ordered out of his car at gunpoint.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it sounds unbelievable, but it's real. A video shared on social media shows Crawford following police orders, taking off his seatbelt, and being handcuffed. The whole moment felt intense. Just hours after thousands cheered him as a champion, he was being treated like a dangerous criminal in his own hometown. Police later said they saw a gun on the driver's side floor and found another legal gun with one of Crawford's security guards. All the weapons were confirmed to be legal, and in the end, Crawford was only given a ticket for reckless driving. He wasn't arrested or taken to jail. Still, Omaha's police chief, Todd Schmaderer, started an internal investigation, and Mayor Ewing asked for full transparency. In a Facebook post, the mayor said his heart sank when he heard how the night ended and emphasized the need for trust between the police and the community.
Caused it to occur is myself, my chief of staff, Tom Warren, both reached out to Mr. Crawford, and he indicated that he would like us to do.
Officials promised the public answers, but for many fans, the damage was already done. That viral video added more drama to Terence Crawford's already complicated history with the law. And here's the surprising part, this wasn't even his first time being involved with police. Long before the Canelo fight or the recent parade incident, Crawford had a serious legal issue that almost hurt his career. Back in 2016, he was convicted in Omaha for disorderly conduct and damaging property after a strange situation at a local auto body shop. Crawford had taken his prized 1984 Chevrolet Monte Carlo there for a custom paint job. He paid half the cost up front, but when he returned and wasn't happy with the work, and refused to pay the rest, things got heated. The shop owner claimed that Crawford and a few others came in, lowered the car off a hydraulic lift themselves, tied it with a rope, and took it away. But they left the lift on, which caused the pump to burn out and led to over $3,000 in damage. The jury didn't accept Crawford's explanation, and he was found guilty. Judge Marcina Ritz didn't hold back, telling him, "You acted as if you were above the law, and you are not." She sentenced him to 90 days in jail and 2 years of probation. For a famous athlete with millions on the line, it was a tough blow. Crawford's lawyer said the punishment was too harsh, pointing out that he didn't have a serious criminal record. Crawford quickly appealed and posted a $10,000 bond. A year later, a higher court agreed to cancel the jail sentence but kept the probation. That decision gave Crawford the chance to keep boxing at the top level, but the embarrassment from that court case has stuck with him ever since. Every time Crawford's name shows up in the news for a run-in with the police, that old courtroom moment comes back to light. And sure enough, that 2016 case wasn't the last time he had trouble in his hometown. In March 2017, while his appeal from the auto shop case was still ongoing, Crawford's name appeared again, this time in connection to an incident outside a clothing store called City Trends. Reports said two women had shown up at the store looking to start a fight with an employee. Later, the conflict moved to the parking lot, where several cars arrived, one of them driven by Crawford. Police stopped the car and found a legally registered gun that belonged to him. He was briefly taken in and questioned, but no charges were filed. His lawyer said Crawford's belongings, including the gun, were returned a few days later. Since his previous case was still under appeal, he technically wasn't on probation at the time. Still, even with no charges or conviction, Crawford's name once again made headlines.
Parade because they were welcoming home their champion. And a couple hours later, Crawford was stopped, traffic stop, at gunpoint by some cops. Gunpoint, because they said there was some reckless driving or some shit like that. He just did a parade in Omaha, Nebraska, and don't tell me that Omaha, Nebraska is big. You know this parade was going on, especially a parade. Police know when there's a parade because they usually are the ones that organize it, block off streets.
This latest street incident had fans and critics asking a tough question. Is Terence Crawford just a victim of being a famous person in a small town, or does trouble always seem to find him? But even outside of the courtroom, Crawford was fighting battles. In January 2022, he took things public by filing a $5.4 million lawsuit against Bob Arum and Top Rank, the company that had promoted his fight since 2011. The accusations were serious. Crawford claimed Arum, who was 90 years old at the time, was racist, broke their contract, and purposely hurt his boxing career.
No, because Terence Crawford is a great talent. We always said that he was a great talent. He's proved through his career that he's a great talent. The question is, can you match up his economic demands?
According to the lawsuit, Arum didn't keep his promises to set up big fights for Crawford, especially one against Errol Spence Jr. Crawford's team said Arum also hurt his reputation in the boxing world. They described Arum as a promoter who favored white and Latino fighters while ignoring and holding back black fighters like Crawford.
I knew he was gonna be here.
And you knew I was gonna pull up.
That's why I came.
Did you know I was gonna pull up?
Oh God, I knew he was gonna be here.
Where
Where he at? Where he at?
Did you know
I got a text message nigga, from 3 o'clock.
And you got a FaceTime for me and you didn't answer.
I don't know your number.
But now you know, save it.
Arum didn't stay quiet either. He called the lawsuit reckless and pointless, saying he had spent his whole career supporting fighters from all backgrounds. He said Crawford's claims were just a mean attempt to get money. What made the case more interesting was the money involved. Crawford said Top Rank cost him millions by missing out on fights. He pointed to contracts where side deals weren't kept, like a $900,000 bonus for the promised fight with Spence that never happened.
And we were not able to do that. Terence did well in the was extraordinarily good fighting Spence. They did very well economically. But again, if you ran it back and you had Terence fighting Spence again, I really don't believe that it would do anything like that.
For fans, the lawsuit wasn't just about money, it was about loyalty, race, and power in a sport where fighters often feel trapped by the business side of boxing. The fact that Crawford, one of the best fighters of his time, felt betrayed by his own promoter made the story even bigger. He wasn't just fighting opponents in the ring, he was also fighting promoters, lawyers, and his reputation outside of it. While the lawyers battled in court, Crawford's real fight was still waiting for him in the boxing ring. Fast forward to the summer of 2025. Crawford faced off against Canelo Alvarez, one of boxing's biggest stars and champions. What happened wasn't just a fight, it was a historic moment. Crawford performed amazingly, beating Canelo by unanimous decision and becoming the first male boxer to hold unified titles in 3 different weight classes.
Omaha, Nebraska, USA, and new Ring Magazine, an undisputed super middleweight champion of the world.
This achievement was huge. Fans and experts called it a passing of the torch moment, with Crawford proving he's the best fighter of his time. Meanwhile, his team was already planning what's next for him.
I mean, if you want to do it, you know, it'd be a challenge. If you want to challenge yourself, yeah, I don't mind.
They make them 5 weight divisions. There's not many people there.
That'd be great.
Oscar and Manny.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Trainer Brian "Bo" McIntyre said Crawford might only have 2 or 3 fights left before he retires. There was even talk about moving up to the 160-pound division, where no champion seems to match his skill. Was this just ambition, or a sign that retirement is coming soon? And if you think the lawsuit and police incident were the only problems after Crawford's big win, think again. Whenever a fighter reaches the top, people start making comparisons. For Crawford, that comparison is always with one name, Floyd Mayweather. In interviews, Crawford has been respectful but confident. He called Mayweather one of the greatest of all time, saying Floyd was the best of his era, while he sees himself as the best of his own time.
That's the GOAT. He won the GOATs, man. Like, I have nothing but the utmost respect for Mayweather. You know, I would never compare myself to Mayweather. You know, like I said in the post interview, he the greatest in his era, I'm the greatest in my era. I don't understand why, especially our people, hate on Mayweather so much.
It was a careful answer, respecting Mayweather's greatness while also standing proud of his own success. But the boxing world didn't stop there. Critics and other fighters joined the conversation and shared their opinions. Interview 15.
Mayweather toyed with Canelo. Like, he literally toyed with him. He didn't get hit at all. Not one time. And Crawford, yeah, he's more of a fighter, boxer. Mayweather's more of a boxer. But I have to disagree. I think Mayweather is much.
Oscar de la Hoya disagreed with Crawford's claim, reminding fans that Mayweather easily beat Canelo years ago, barely getting hit during the fight. Some people say Crawford and Mayweather are actually from the same generation because their careers overlapped for almost 10 years. For fans, this debate is a hot topic. Some believe Crawford's win over Canelo puts him in a very special group of fighters. Others argue that Mayweather's undefeated record and huge pay-per-view success can't be beaten. So, the big question is, will Crawford be remembered as one of the all-time greats like Mayweather? Or will his legacy be clouded by lawsuits, arrests, and other troubles outside the ring? Right now, Crawford hasn't been jailed or sentenced in 2025. But he does have a history full of police reports, court cases, and lawsuits that keep him in the news just as much as his fights do. At the same time, his achievements in boxing are amazing, undefeated, holding multiple titles, and a clear win over Canelo. To some, he's the greatest of his time. To others, he's a great fighter whose career has often been interrupted by drama. Retirement seems close. His trainer says he might have only a few fights left. Canelo hasn't ruled out a rematch. Fans keep debating how Crawford compares to Mayweather. But whenever Crawford's name comes up, it's never just about boxing, there's always some drama attached. So, when you hear "Goodbye Forever" connected to Terence Crawford, don't think of jail or courtrooms. Think about the day he finally leaves the ring, with his gloves hung up, his record still perfect, and his legacy still being debated. One thing is sure, Terence "Bud" Crawford will never be forgotten. Let us know what you think in the comments below. It's been quite a journey, feels like yesterday I almost quit boxing. For the best boxing news, moments, and updates, subscribe to Knockout Updates and turn on notifications so you never miss out. And check out our other videos. Until next time, peace.